G'day everyone, Viv again. Thought I'd check the camera back on again. One thing you can do with dog food cans or any sort of tinned food or stuff that comes with a label that has glue running down it. Take the label off, leave the can for a while, and then after a little bit of time, that glue is going to become very brittle and you can just scratch it off. Then your can becomes good as new. Just do this with your nail, it's not difficult. Get a brush so you can see what you've cleaned off. If you do it with anything that's going to scratch the metal, then you're going to end up with a tank that doesn't look good. So I'm just putting another industrial piece here. Some storage vessels. Every refinery has them. So that's all I'm doing. I've just got a couple of different size cans here. Just give them a bit of a clean over. Then I position them where I want them. And I draw out, as I showed you before. Actually, I might put them close to the edge. That way people can walk around inside. Makes the piece usable then. Okay, cool, so we'll put this one here. So once I've drawn everything out, then I just start gluing stuff down. Using the hot glue, tracing inside the circle like I showed before, and then start gluing stuff down. So I'll glue these pieces down and then I might start adding a few more pieces. A couple of pipes and stuff in between the main chambers, etc. A little bit over here just to fill it out. But this will probably be storage. Now if I had to wait for PVA to dry to do this, I'd be here all night with bits and pieces all over the place. So I'm just going to play around, see what I can find to fit on here and then glue it down just to be able to change the shape of things a little bit. Stick all these wires into it. Where are my clippers? So this is the process that I use. Just grab bits at random, find bits from your box, and then glue them in. Find interesting positions for them and go for it. one thing you can do when you're stringing wire is get one bit that's longer than the other, join it to that side, and then when you glue it up you'll get a little extra hanging. So I always slide my bits in from the side here like this. A, because it means you're going to get it sort of somewhere in the middle. And B, any of this excess glue that's sitting on the outside that you scrape on that on the way in can be easily just pulled off, leaving only just the join there. And for a storage container, I'd paint these probably white, especially like you see in oil refineries. Cylinders that are used for storing things are generally painted white, because that way they reflect the heat of the sun and not going to heat up the contents of whatever's in there. Now, I'm actually going to add some valves around the place using these little bits from the Herstarts range. These will help sort of give them a much more tank sort of appearance and help detract the eye away from the fact that these are actually a can. Now, hot glue gun's not the best stuff to work with Herstarts blocks, because it creates a gap between what you're doing. You really want to use a PVA glue to this is what I'm searching through. I really need to organise these bits. I just need a little base bit for this, and then I can glue it on and we can continue.